Hey guys, welcome to today's Vehicle Visionary. Today, my friends at Land Rover of Shreveport have loaned me this 2020 Range Rover Sport for the day. And I'm really excited to tell you all about it, especially some of the interesting interior features that I just find very fascinating and very interesting. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say the Range Rover has not been updated style-wise since 2014. And while that's true, I believe that all of the fascinating features that keep this Range Rover ultra modern for the 2020 model year really kind of wipe that out as being a big issue. So we're going to talk about what's new. We're going to talk about obviously the performance numbers because the engine under this hood is very powerful. It sounds superb through the exhaust. The exhaust note on this Range Rover Sport is beautiful. The acceleration is solid, the ride is great, and the handling is too. So, what's new for 2020? One thing that isn't necessarily new for 2020, but is a carryover from, about the midpoint of 2019 is the inline 6-cylinder engine that is available. But you will find a new 4-cylinder plug-in hybrid powertrain available for the Range Rover for 2020. So for those of you who are looking for something like that in the Range Rover, obviously it is now available. One other really good feature that I think is most certainly worth mentioning that is not new options for 2020, but are standard options for 2020. That is the fact that Apple CarPlay and Android Auto comes standard across the board no matter which Range Rover you choose to purchase. And under the hood here is the high-performing 5-liter V8 topped with a supercharger. It makes 518 horsepower. And for being a large, somewhat bulky vehicle with actually very solid off-road capabilities, the 0 to 60 is 6.3 seconds, and top speed is 137 miles per hour. If I could imagine going 137 miles per hour in my Range Rover Sport. The gas mileage is 17 miles per gallon in the city and 22 out on the highway, unless you want to see if you can go 137 miles per hour. So let's talk about some of the exterior features here on this Range Rover Sport. And let's see if I can get this out in one sentence without stuttering. You have automatic, power folding, auto dimming, heated side view mirrors. That went better than I expected. So you not only have a rear view mirror on the interior that automatically dims when headlights are shining from it from behind you, but also the side view mirrors. Very nice feature. That way you're not blinded by somebody's brights or HIDs in this day and age. And you do have, of course, we just saw right there that the mirrors automatically fold and unfold if you lock or unlock the vehicle. Auto door latches, and what that means is that you can automatically walk up to the vehicle with the remote. You gotta have the remote with you for this to work, but you can lock or unlock the vehicle depending on what you want to do. The doors are locked right now, but I can pull on that and automatically open it. Now here's another feature I want to show you, and I'll show you on the rear door because I think it might give a little bit better shot. Then I've got some B-roll footage to share on this. You remember the days gone by when you would close a door and you didn't want to slam it, so you just kind of gently closed it and it didn't close all the way. And you'd either have to open the door again or put your body weight into it to seal that gap up, basically. Now you don't have to worry about that. That's one of the things that a lot of vehicles have, including this Range Rover Sport. So basically what happens, let me unlock again and make sure we are unlocked. There we go. All you have to do, I'm just going to barely close this, and see that? It's going to automatically pull itself closed and seal up that gap. Just so nice and convenient. I know that's nothing new, but if it's not something you've had on a vehicle before, it is definitely a wonderful convenience to have. Okay guys, let's begin our interior tour here with the rear liftgate. We're going to open this up in just a second. You have 3 different options for opening and or closing the liftgate. The first is found just to the left of the steering wheel on the lower portion of the dashboard. There's also a button on the remote that you can use to open this rear liftgate, or you can use the button right here above the license plate to open it as well. And all of those features close the liftgate, and there is a 4th option for closing the liftgate located right up here. I'll show you how to use that on your screen right now. And you will find storage capacity here in the Range Rover to range between 24.8, 27.5, and if you fold the rear seats down all the way up to 62.2 cubic feet. You also have a nice retractable cover here if you want to cover something up, keep it safe from people being able to see it, even though you do have deep tinted rear windows here, or you just want to maybe keep some extra shade on whatever you're storing back here. You do have this retractable piece right here that you can pull back, very easy to operate, to move back and forth. And you do have a full-size spare, so you don't have a donut or anything like that. Full-size spare. And here's a nice little feature that I like. When you open up this cargo area back here, you move the floor up basically to get to the spare tire if you need to do that. There is a little latch that you can use, this little piece that I'm showing you right now, to actually hold the floor up instead of having to do it by hand or have someone else do it or kind of fumble around with all of that. A nice feature. Now, if you walk up to the rear of the Range Rover and say, man, this thing is really high up, that's what these buttons right here on the right-hand side are for. You can lower the air suspension, dropping it all the way down to where it's so much easier to access your rear cargo area back here. And when you're finished, you just hold down this button on the top. It raises it back up to the stock ride height, or whatever you wish to do, to make things so much simpler. Okay guys, I'm in the back seat here, and it's very comfortable. It's roomy. The average size adult is going to be very comfortable back here, seating for 3. And if you don't have 3, you can fold down the armrest here. Has a couple of cup holders and a little bit of storage here. I like that. And there's also a little pass-through here for access to the rear, or if you need to have something that is too long to fit back there, it can always come up a little bit. So a couple of different things you can do with that. Very nice option. And one thing you're going to start to notice back here, obviously the interior looks great. I like the color combination of the interior on this Range Rover. You will notice that you have a couple of USB ports down here and a cigarette lighter if you need that. And there are not only air conditioning vents here on the rear of the console, you also have a couple here on the side as well, right by the grab handles and where the lights are, the reading lights, if you want to use those. And those things are really easy to use. You just literally touch the light and it goes on or off. It's actually not difficult to use. It's really pretty sensitive, which is not a bad thing. Just like the back seat, the carbon fiber accents really set this off. I love the interior colors, and just all the materials here are high end, and it just looks high tech. Like I said, even though there hasn't been a full refresh on the Range Rover Sport since 2014, with all the changes in technology and the additions that have been made, it's really kept it modern. So I'm very interested to see what might come in the future when we do see a refresh, which you'll see right here on Vehicle Visionary, by the way. The steering wheel itself, super comfortable. Very comfortable. It is automatic. You can adjust it telescopically, you can move it up or down, and of course there are memory settings for the driver as far as the steering wheel and the seats and everything. Very easy to use too. You've got those settings here on the driver's side door. Down where you would normally have, you have your lock and unlock button, but you would normally have the buttons for raising and lowering your windows. Those are up here on the top of the driver's side door, and all the doors are like that in here. I probably pointed that out earlier in the video. But just talking about the modern amenities here, you've got the steering wheel mounted controls for turning things on and off, safety features that you may want to turn off if you need to for whatever reason. And I'll list what the different safety features are here in the Range Rover Sport on the screen for you right now, so you can know what those are. Basically, great features to help keep the driver aware of what's going on around them and know what to do and what not to do, all that good stuff. Steering wheel mounted paddle shifters here that are very responsive. Another thing that I have to point out here that's really good, of course the instrument cluster looks nice and modern for this day and age, speedometer, tachometer, and you have a heads-up display as well. And on the speedometer on the dashboard and the heads-up display, it not only tells you your speed, but also the speed limit where you are driving. And not every vehicle that has a heads-up display, or just in general, has that feature. I like that. Very nice. But here's something I think is really nice, and it's not something you're going to get on every single vehicle, but it is on this one, and that's the fact that if you're using navigation, you don't have to look over here to the infotainment screen to see the map if you need to glance over. It's right here in front of you between the speedometer and tachometer. I like that feature. Of course, you do have some features here. We're going to talk about the infotainment screen and the screen underneath it that you can make a lot of adjustments to the vehicle on in just a little while. I'll show you that in a separate section of the video in just a minute. But of course you can adjust the dual air conditioning. You got your controls here for that, max AC, all that good stuff. The little dial here in the middle for the radio volume, and you can mute or unmute that. And then moving here into the center console area, I like the look of the shifter. It's very nice, very simple to use, and you can change a lot of things here. Again, you can turn things on and off. You can change modes. And right here in the center, you see this dial in the center. If you push that down, it's going to automatically select the correct driving mode for you, so you don't have to do that yourself. And electronic parking brake, a couple of cup holders here that you can hide away with a carbon fiber cover if you wish to do so. Again, the trim in here with the carbon fiber is just so nice. And a nice console here in the middle. And I like the fact that you do have storage here. You also have, if you need it, you got a cigarette lighter there if that's something you wish to use, USB ports. Okay guys, just a real quick tour here of these two center screens. And you might not be able to see this one really well, but let me show you a little trick on this. And I'm going to close this real quick. I don't know how well you can see that on the screen yourself. And I'm going to go over here. You've got the home button right here. And then you have the settings button right here. And so I'm going to push the settings button. And over here on the top, you have a screen angle. I'm going to change that angle so hopefully you can see this a little bit better. Just hold down the plus sign and notice that the screen angle actually changes. And one other thing that I think will be helpful for the video here is I'm also going to change the theme here, where instead of being set up for after dark, it's going to be set up more for the day here. I think that's much better for the screen display theme is what it's called. And so we're going to go with that. Now, everything you would expect is here. Let me get out of that. We're just going to do a quick little tour right here. Everything's real simple and real self-explanatory. Of course, there's home. You've got navigation, phone, media, all that good stuff there. You've got so many different things that you can go through here. There's your navigation. If you want to use that, everything is just really self-explanatory. I don't feel like I need to do a big tour of this because you can just hunt and peck your way around, and it's not hard to navigate. But what I do want to focus on is down here on the center screen. Right now, the lower screen is set up to make changes to the air conditioner, to control the climate, all that good stuff. And so it's real simple. If you want to change the fan speed, there you go. You just push that, and you can see that the fan comes up on here, and it gives the number. So we're going to move it up to, well, let's just move it up to 8. It only goes as high as 7, so I can't move it to 8. But I hope you can see that on your screen right now. But that's how you change that. It's not hard, so I'm going to change that back. And everything is real simple here. If you want to use the defroster, whatever, you do that there. You can change where the air is coming out. So now we're going to go to the next screen here. And you can change if you want to turn the seats, the heated seats on. All of that is available right there. Again, very simple, and it gives you the option to turn that on or off. A lot of nice little features here that are, again, simple to explore. Now, how about the vehicle itself? Here you can change the mode of the vehicle, and let me turn that off. I accidentally turned the music on. Hopefully don't get hit with a copyright notice. But you have multiple modes, and it's currently in sand mode right now, and you can change that however you want to. So there's dynamic mode is selected right there. You also have, well, there's just multiple modes here. Eco mode, which I don't think I would ever drive in eco mode personally, but everybody has their personal preferences. And I'll list the driving modes on the screen instead of just going through each and every one, making sure you can see what they are. because it might be a little hard to see since I'm trying to show both screens at the same time here. But here is everything you can change, and like I say, super simple and super easy. And again, you can go back. Here's another section you can change right here. You can change the climate, you can change the display. Everything is very easy. Seats right there, you can make adjustments there if you want to, depending on what you want to do. I'm not going to do a full tour of this, but as you can see, a lot of great simple to make adjustments here available through both screens. And depending on how you want to set your vehicle up, you can do so with this Range Rover Sport. Okay guys, that's it for today's video. It has been an absolute blast to go over the features and amenities of the Range Rover Sport and to take it out for a ride. I've enjoyed driving it, just love the sound of the engine in this Range Rover. I would like to thank my friends at Land Rover of Shreveport for loaning me this Range Rover Sport for the day, and all of you for taking the time to watch. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That helps a lot and increases the likelihood of this video getting in front of more people. This is what I do for a full-time living, so that helps me out a lot. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel just yet, please be sure to do so. Leave me a comment and let me know that you are here. Tell me what else you would like to see me feature here on Vehicle Visionary, and I will see you in my next video.